Welcome, everybody, to the very next episode of The Remedy with Tova Sido Shrank. And that's
Did
a mouthful.
Janice Gaunt, Janice Sterling Gaunt, whatever my name is, my full name.
Ooh, you're making that sound good, Tom. What was that?
What was that?
That was a Dr. Pepper, the nectar of the gods.
He made that sound like a beer commercial.
He did.
A couple of beers, couple of Dr. Peppers.
Yeah, a little bump. God, I listened to our podcast last week when you were talking about the couple of beers commercial from Saturday Night Live, and that. Did you watch it, Janice?
No.
He sent it to you. He sent it to us. It is so damn funny.
Very
Oh,
funny.
I have to find it.
Yeah, the Saturday Night Live skit. How's everybody doing today?
Great.
Good.
Good. Are you getting into March Madness, Tom?
Well, I was on the very first day until my team lost like a bunch of suckers. We were just talking about that before we started
KU?
the show. Kansas, we're not used to losing, so
Yeah, I know. That's why you had to put your big boy panties
Yeah,
on and just cheer for Texas Tech.
literally the first day of March Madness was the last day of March Madness. I haven't watched one more second of the tournament
Are
and won't.
you kidding?
And
Yeah.
you won't? You're a baby too?
I just don't care if Kansas isn't in it. I don't care.
I cannot even tell you how many basketball games I have watched. I'll bet I've watched 30 games.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's
I love
amazing.
it.
I do too.
Yeah,
I do
mean,
too.
and I can, walk on the treadmill
Yeah.
and watch it, and
Yeah. You can do a lot while basketball's on.
Definitely.
I proved that this weekend.
that is good. It is good.
So fun. Okay, today we are. I actually had a client send this list to me.
Yeah.
Her father just died, and somebody sent it to her. 20 sentences I wish I'd read sooner in life.
Oh.
So I read them and I was like, oh, these are really good. So she sent it to me and thought we would like it, and I loved it.
Yeah.
And so
I love this. I've read through it twice.
yep, I think it's some good stuff. So we'll see which ones we agree with, which ones we maybe are like, meh.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I liked them. What did you think of them, Tom? Tom, are you drinking your Dr. Pepper? He's not listening to us.
No, he's
No,
not.
sorry,
He's
my mic-
pouting about KU. You call Tom. He's doing it too, I'm sure.
My mic was off, and I was up here just chatting away.
Oh, you
That's
were.
hilarious. I'm like, Tom.
I haven't read these, but I did just read the first one, and I like it a lot. So can I start?
Yeah, go.
Please do.
All right. Number one, action is the antidote to anxiety. Boy, is this true.
Yeah.
Why is that true for you?
Well, I mean, I don't really get anxiety. This is kind of a confession here. The only time I ever get anxiety is whenever I smoke weed in the morning without anything in my stomach.
Oh.
And I'll get a little
So you
anxiety
need to take some
sometimes.
action and have some food.
Yes. And the first thing that I can do to quell anxiety is to just start doing stuff.
Yeah.
Like just dive in and just take your mind off of the anxiety. And it's funny how getting stuff done is like the opposite of anxiety. So, I mean, I could not agree more. Whenever I'm feeling anxious, I just start doing stuff.
Yeah, I agree with you because I think that whenever people have anxiety, now some people have it so badly that they have to have medicine and stuff.
Yeah.
But there's, if I start thinking, futurizing too much about something, or what am I going to do about this, then if I can just come up with some solutions that I could take some action on. And that just the idea of even having some actions prepared will help with anxiety.
Yeah. I agree with that so much. Like if you're anxious about something specific,
Yeah.
just start tackling that thing.
Yeah.
But to your point, Tom, and I think I'm the same as you, I rarely get anxiety. But when I do feel a little anxious, even if it's just my to-do list and it has, I may not feel anxious about something in particular, but even just like going to the grocery store, meal planning, cutting flowers, like making getting some laundry done. Just the action of action makes me feel better.
Yeah, it takes your mind off of.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's all I've ever heard about anxiety is that it's sort of self-induced. I feel like people can give it to themselves by overthinking stuff. I mean, I know that there's clinical anxiety, which is probably different, but a lot of times I feel like my anxiety is just my brain giving it to myself.
Yeah, and I think
that's a great way to say
I think that's a lot of anxiety is maybe the futurizing and worrying about financial or your kids if
Getting
they're
it all
not going to get into
done.
college or all of those things. I don't really get anxious about errands or taking care of. That doesn't really bother me. The only time that I really get anxious is when I'm really trying to do too much.
Yeah.
And I'm not doing the things that I really want to do, but feeling like I have to do all these things. I've got to do all these things for my kids. I've got to do all the things for friends. I've got all of those things when really I don't.
No. One thing that I have encouraged people who've talked to me about their anxiety is if they wake up in the middle of the night, a lot of people wake up at that 2, 3, 4 o'clock and their mind just starts racing. One thing I encourage them to do is just keep a Post-it note.
Yeah.
And write it down. And then it gets out of your head and onto the paper. It really does seem to help some people.
Oh, yeah.
Just get it out and then you can go back to sleep and you can take care of it in the morning.
Yeah. Because spending too much time going like a pinball machine in your brain is just not going to do you any good.
No. Getting it out, I think, can really, really help.
I do too.
Okay, number 2. You get 4,000 weeks in your life if you're lucky, so stop waiting.
Get going on it.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Go to that tech game if they get in the Final Four.
Oh, we're going there. We are definitely going there.
I really believe in this one.
Me too. And I just, if you snooze, you lose,
Yep.
And
I think going, like you going to Mexico and learning another language and like that kind of stuff keeps you young.
yeah.
And
Well, it keeps your brain working.
yes. And I think that's the going, learning. You're inevitably going to learn something if you travel or try something new. Like even if you learn you hate it.
Yeah, exactly.
You learned it.
That is exactly right.
Okay, you want to tackle 3?
Yes. Notice the people who bring out your favorite version of yourself. Interesting, isn't it?
I only do this.
Me too. I really don't. I don't feel like at this stage of my life I have to be around people. If I don't, if the people aren't good for me, or they walk away, or it's stressful, or they're talking about people or things that are really uncomfortable. And so I do think that is so important that we figure out who our people are.
Yes, and only surround ourselves whenever possible with people who elevate us.
Yeah, and the people who don't, then you just limit your time with them.
Or don't.
Or don't.
Or don't even get around, I mean, I think
but if you have family members or something that,
Yeah.
Cousins or aunts or uncles or whatever. But I think that's really important for me, at least at this stage of my life, is I don't want to be around people who don't bring out
the best in you.
best in me.
It's probably why our list, as we mature and get older, gets smaller and smaller. Because, I mean, and think about all the people you hung out in high school just because you had to.
Yeah, in college and early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even when your kids are young and you've got to go to something for them and you've got to stand on sidelines with people that you would you wouldn't choose to have at your table.
Yeah.
But then you get to the point in life where you get you really can, like you and I think are in a season of our life, we really can choose.
We really can. It's great.
That's nice.
Yeah, it really is.
It's really nice.
It is. It is.
Okay, Tom.
All right, number 4, you teach people how to treat you by what you tolerate.
Heck yeah. I have told this to my kids, especially my daughter. We teach people how to treat us, especially in a romantic relationship.
Especially in that. And that there's, if people do things that are against your value system in your relationship, dump them.
Now,
yes.
because a marriage or an engagement or a baby doesn't make that thing go away.
Right.
It only makes it worse. One of my clients says kids and cancer don't cure a damn thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, oh, if we just had kids, or if I got sick, then he would appreciate me. No.
Yeah. And especially when you're tolerating things, and if you've gotten a divorce, or you're dating, or you're younger, or college kids or high school kids or whatever it is, it's just that we just don't need to tolerate people who are not kind to you.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Life is too short,
It is.
too damn long to be with the wrong person.
It is. It is.
Okay, number 5. Growth happens when you do things you feel unqualified to do. Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you feel unqualified. That's scary.
Growth happens when you do things you feel unqualified to do.
I think there can be some truth in that.
Sure.
Like there's a whole bunch of things that I'm not qualified to do that I don't want to grow in.
Yeah. But some of them, when you feel like you really need to do something that you don't feel real qualified to do, but you go ahead and push yourself through it, it does kind of help us feel better about ourselves in that, hey, well, I really can push myself some. And sometimes you are going to want to push yourself.
It is an empowering feeling.
Yeah.
To conquer something or do something that you felt like in the beginning you wouldn't be that great at.
Yeah. Yeah. And who knows? You may be great at it. And if not, you've still learned something.
Yeah. Yeah. And you learned you don't like it or you're not that great at it.
Exactly. Throw it away.
Okay. You want 6, Janice?
Okay. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. Really cool.
What's
That
something?
sounds like a fortune cookie.
It does.
It does, doesn't it?
What's something that y'all have feared that you did it and you're like, wow, this is better than I ever could have imagined?
I don't think there are things that I don't want to do, but I don't know that it's necessarily fear. It's something that is, I can't find my guitar, and so I'm going to buy another one. And I was thinking the other day about buying one, and I thought, I don't know that. I don't even remember those chords or anything like that. And it's not like I'm going to be coming over here and recording.
Maybe you should.
But I do want to get a book out or whatever it is and kind of practice on those again. Learn it again, relearn it, because I did. I played it all through high school.
That's amazing. That'd be so fun for your grandkids to see you do that.
Maybe if I can figure it out.
I think, I can't speak for you, but I would imagine that both of us writing our books was...
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, that wasn't something we feared, but something we both felt called. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Called to do and called to share. And it was so hard. And it took
so freaking
so
hard.
much work and time and effort and blood, sweat, tears. And I can only speak for myself, but just knowing the difference that writing that book made not only in my life, but lives of others and you too.
Yeah, and the thing is that what's interesting about that with our books is my first book and your first book was hard to write. And it was so hard that I really, when I started thinking about Prince Charming, I thought, I don't know if I want to write another book because I know if I start it, I'll have to finish it, and all of that. But I thought, okay, go ahead. Come on, let's get it out there because it is something that I wanted to do. And I'd already started writing out topics and stuff like that. But that writing a book for me was very difficult. It took a lot of time, a lot of effort. And, it's not like Robert Ludlum that pulls out those
That knocks them out.
But, but it is a treasure. I love having done that, don't you?
Oh, yes. And I know from my client base, because I recommend your books all the time, what a blessing that gift is that you have, that you shared, that was hard for you, but ended up like being a treasure.
Oh, that's really sweet, Tova.
Well, it's true.
Well, same with yours. I mean, your books, people who have lost children and stuff, it really is a gift.
Yeah, it is. But you don't feel, when you're doing it, it's
I want to
tough.
Put the effing gift on fire and tell me, stop it. You cannot write that book.
Well, yeah, and that, what I think about with our books too, is I think there'll be gifts for our children.
They will be.
And
grandkids.
Grandkids and great grandkids. And your books are so fantastic and they're timeless. Your books will be timeless. So I don't know. I thought that's what I thought. Like the thing that you fear, like could end up being a big treasure, or the thing that you put off, or the thing that you feel like a nudge, but you keep pushing, kicking the can. Like just do it. It could end up being one of the greatest gifts to yourself and to others.
Yeah, I agree.
I've got a big one and a small one. So the big one obviously was giving into having a kid. I never wanted to.
You didn't?
No. I professed to any girlfriend I ever had that was never going to happen. And marriage, for that matter, was never going to happen either. Until
Well, she probably didn't stay very long.
Well, no, there were a couple girls that were like, sweet, I don't want that either. So
really?
But anyway, Maureen came on the scene and she definitely changed my mind about marriage, but then also about having a kid. And truthfully, I don't know what I was afraid of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes.
And I definitely have benefited from that on like lots of levels, and it's still one of those things that kind of keeps giving, if you know what I mean.
Oh.
And it will only keep giving.
That's right.
Of course. The small thing, and you're going to laugh, Tova, but this is true. I have a massive fear of short putts. Like,
really?
Yes. When I hit, let's say I'm on a par 3 and I hit this beautiful shot and I hit it to 2.5 feet just outside of the leather where my friends are going to make me putt it. I am terrified.
Do you get the yips?
Yes.
Oh, you
depends.
do? I don't.
Yes. I would rather.
Because I'm not good enough with my putting that it doesn't bother me at all if I miss it. I'm like, well, there we go.
It's the funniest thing. Like, so many people would be so excited that they're about to make a birdie, and I'm kind of like, oh my God, I'm about to fuck this up and make a par. I would rather the putt be 8 feet than 3 feet.
That's really interesting.
You need to go to a sports psychologist and work
that
out.
I absolutely do.
Yeah. You should just give yourself a gift of that.
You know who you could call about that is I could give you the name Gabe Reynolds. You know the guy.
I know Gabe.
Oh, you do?
I've met him before. Yeah.
Yeah, he's such a good teacher.
Yeah.
And he might be able to help you with that.
He just might. I've met that guy a couple of different times out. I've seen him out watching live music.
Oh, you have?
And struck up a conversation with him probably 10 or 12 years ago. And yeah.
Well, I have his phone number if you want it, because it might
Get rid of those yips.
Yeah.
Golf
yips. Okay, number 7. If you don't schedule your priorities, someone else will.
True.
Or something.
Or something else will.
I mean, I think about this, like, I love this about Craig. Craig's just a doer. He's not going to sit around all day Saturday and do nothing.
Yeah.
And I think about, like, laziness. Like, if you don't make a plan, or if you don't have some priorities about what, like, the day will just take over. The day will kind of suck you in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if I wasn't married to Craig, I could easily, like, chill way more than he does. Like, yesterday, I was so tired. We had company in for the weekend, and it was a blast, but I was beat.
Yeah.
And we stayed up late both nights. We drank too much. I mean, it was a lot of fun, but I was tired.
It was a lot.
It was a lot. And I was laying on the couch, and golf was on, and basketball was on, and Craig is like, come on, let's go play 9 holes. And I'm like, like, I was
Did you go?
Yes, and we walked, and I was so glad that I went and did it. But he's going to be like this, and not that golf was a big priority yesterday, but doing is a big priority of his, and I really appreciate that because it just makes our days and weekends so much more fun. That he's just such a doer. But I feel like if you don't know what you want to do, and you don't make a plan, or you don't make priorities, then and you're prone to be lazy or whatever, then the day's just going to go.
Well, and
Waste.
if there are things that you might view as being lazy, but if that is on your to-do list, then you do it, whether it's taking a nap.
Yeah.
If you're like, okay, I've done so much and I'm totally exhausted, and I'm just going to lie on the bed and take a nap.
A nap can be a priority.
It can definitely be a priority.
It really can.
Yes.
But I do like the idea that, like, what are understanding your priorities, and then making sure you do them. Because back to that first one, I think that when we don't have a lot of action in our life, I do think that breeds depression, anxiety. I think the more action, the better.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 8, the most dangerous addiction. Oh, this is a good one. Is the approval of other people.
Yeah.
God, how exhausting.
Don't need
Instagram.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
Yeah. I am pretty good about not giving a rat's flip, if I don't necessarily need the approval of people anymore. I used to. I ran for cheerleader for, a long, 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 long time. But I don't anymore at all.
I don't either. And that is something that I have conquered in life, because I, like you, ran for cheerleader for a long after cheerleading tryouts were still happening, and to not care for the approval of others, not seek approval for others is that is such freedom for me. And
me too, Tova. And my favorite, I've said it here before, my favorite thing is what you think of me is none of my business. That I just don't need that approval. I mean, I would like for you to like me.
Sure.
And, but...
And I want to get along with most people.
But I don't need it.
And you don't seek it.
I do not seek it.
Do you, Tom? Do you care what people think?
No.
Or I guess caring what people think and seeking approval are two different things.
Yes, I definitely don't seek approval. I certainly would hate to find that somebody that I've just met got the wrong impression of me, and I would hate to hear that and figure out what the hell I could have done or need to fix. But making sure that everybody is always impressed by the stuff that I'm doing and hoping people see, accomplishments. I don't know, like basically what people do on Instagram, posting every stupid thing that you do just to make yourself look awesome.
Yeah.
That is the most boring, exhausting, pathetic existence.
You need to do like a speech on that. I mean,
But I would love to.
you have, like your stance on it is inspiring, and it's just so true. You need to go to high schools and talk to those kids.
It takes so much for me to muster up. Like, I wanted to post something about going to see my buddy at the Eagle, play for the Eagles.
Yeah.
And then some people I was with, they posted their pictures, and I just like glommed onto that one. I like reposted theirs.
Perfect.
Because I was like, am I seriously going to go through and find all the pictures? And it just seems kind of braggadocious to me. And also it's like, what are you, the 10,000th person to put pictures of you at the Eagles? I mean, like...
But you know what? I honestly and truly don't think people think about that. I think everybody, or most people who know you, or, your friends or your family or whomever, and they look on Instagram and there you are at the Eagles concert, and you're like... That I think everybody thinks that's such the bomb. That's great.
You're probably right. It's just, it feels, part of me thinks it's like, oh wow, you went to a concert. Snobby. Oh wow, you went to the state fair. Oh wow, you went to Uncle, or what is it, Mr. Charles or whatever. It's like, wow, you're awesome. Wow, you ate dinner tonight and you took a picture of it.
The whole food thing is a little strange for me. I'm sorry if you're a listener and you post every meal that Anna Prin does that, and I don't understand it. Carter and I have talked about it. Like, why does she, and Carter's like, Mom, every young girl her age posts their food.
Look how healthy I'm being.
But it's not even health. It's not even that bad.
Look what I'm about to eat, and I'm going to go in the bathroom and put my finger down my throat and get it back up. I just want to see you before.
It's just very interesting that, but that's a young person thing to do. But I do think it, to your point, Janice, and I think it's a good one. You didn't use this word, but I will. It's intention. I think that when we assume that the intention is to brag versus just be, but a lot of people, I agree with you. If I saw your post, Tom, and you're at the Eagles concert at the Sphere, I'd be like, damn, what a lucky guy, But I do think that there are people who would look at that and they would feel inadequate.
Well, then
that's their problem.
That's not, who cares?
Right.
Who cares
We
if
were
they think
asking.
Well, I wouldn't.
We were asking our Uber driver from our hotel back to the airport, like at the end of our Vegas trip, and we drove by the Sphere and saw it, and we're kind of like in the back seat, and we're like, man, that was so fun. And I just kind of didn't even think before I spoke. I just blurted out, "Have you seen a show in there, man?" And the guy goes, "Dude, I can't afford that." And it was just like one of those things where I was like, yeah, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, where were you?
In Vegas.
Oh.
And it's like, this guy's driving a taxi, and maybe he can't afford that. So it's the exact reason why I think posting about something like that could be insensitive. Not that every person that follows me on Instagram is that way, but it's just hilarious. The guy's like, dude, I can't afford that. Like, are you kidding me? And I felt like such a jerk.
I just don't. I just think you just can't worry about or think about what the people are going to think of you posting whatever.
Yeah.
If you're,
So I just don't.
See, I would never think.
I wonder what people are going to think about my post.
No, I never think about that.
Yeah.
And I would never think about, oh gosh, Tom's trying to brag about being. I mean, I just don't think people do that. And if they do, I don't care.
You're right.
Go ahead, brag away.
Doesn't do a damn thing to your needle.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I look and think,
So funny. Okay, you want to do 9, Janice?
Sure. Burnout happens when you treat rest as a reward rather than a right. Burnout happens when you... Maybe I would change this and say burnout could happen when you treat rest as a reward rather than a right. I don't really understand that.
I don't really understand this one either.
I mean,
neither.
I think you just treat rest as rest.
When you treat burnout happens when you treat rest as a reward. I don't know. Let's move on.
Okay.
If that's inspiring to somebody, go with it. Okay, take us home, Tom.
You never regret investing in your health, learning, or relationships.
Amen.
Amen.
I love that one.
True. I do too.
And I think all of us are really good at that. Uh-huh. By the way, Tom, how much weight have you lost?
42 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah. Good times.
Do you feel different?
Like $1 million.
Wow,
Yeah,
really?
it's a major difference. Especially, we went skiing back in February.
Yeah.
And I skied 5 out of 6 days and came home not sore, just feeling perfect. Whereas I used to go every other day and have some aches and pains. But man, it was just the greatest thing to not have to worry about anything like my body breaking down or any of that. It was awesome.
Tom, that is so
Thank you.
So amazing. And
thank you.
I just think that is I think that's so great for you.
Yeah, it's
I
fun.
bet that was so much fun. I bet you were like, "Oh my gosh."
Yeah, this first half of this journey has been pretty easy. It's the second half that's kind of I'm actually going to have to maybe do some hard exercising. Just riding the bike and playing tennis is not really getting her done on these last few pounds that I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
What's your goal?
I'm trying to lose a total of 72, so I've got 30 more to go.
Pounds.
30 more?
Yeah, I'm trying to get down to 240.
Well, you look amazing.
Look great.
Thank you.
Yeah, he opened the door today. He's got that cute purple shirt on.
Yeah.
And he's lost. I'm like, Tom, wow. I mean, it just you look really healthy.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So
Yeah, you
I agree
really
with
do.
this one. Invest in your health and invest in learning. And of course, invest in your relationships.
Yeah.
You'll never regret those things.
That is true.
Okay, we have 11 through 20 that we're going to tackle next week. So come back for 11 through 20 of sentences that I wish I'd read sooner in life. Thanks for listening
Thanks for listening.
and have an awesome week.